Well, here we are on a Saturday at the markets. Don't normally film on a Saturday, but today is just that spectacular. Thought I'd better take the opportunity. Yeah, really nice day, busy, lots of people here. It's so good, just walked through and almost every storeholder was engaged with a customer. It's just so nice to see. So even though there's a lot of doom and gloom out there with the economy, the war, interest rates, inflation, it's just, yeah, people are out here spending, so it's looking really good. Last weekend we cancelled due to 2 bad days of weather, rain and wind, unfortunately. But we're back with a vengeance this weekend. We've got over 60 stalls today, which is getting back to sort of pre-COVID times. It's really nice. Getting lots of applications still. Had a few people very frustrated during the week because they weren't approved. All I can say to them is, look, I've been doing this that long that it's important to make sure the quality of the market is good. And sorry if I can't help everyone, but my job is to make sure the market's good for the public and for the stall holders. And I'm just going to continue to do that. So we can't say yes to everyone. And sometimes I'm just not the most popular person. And also with the weather, you know, I can only run the weather when the weather's good and it's safe and everyone's having a good time. I hope you're enjoying the how-to series. This week we're going to talk about an important subject called insurance. Everyone needs to have it these days. And I talked to Stephen Maxwell from My Market Insurance, who are the biggest insurers of markets, people and markets organisers in Australia. So enjoy that, and I think you'll find it very interesting. A lot of good facts about insurance. Anyway, back to the markets. Welcome to Manly Markets 2095. Manly is the first beach north of Sydney Harbour and can easily be reached by ferry, car or bus. My name is Mark and I've been running the Manly Markets for 10 years now, and I have over 30 years retail experience in the surf industry, which has really helped me understand the markets business overall. Each week I'm going to show you all around our markets, including how we run them, introduce our store holders, show you around Manly and interview some locals along the way. Please subscribe and enjoy our weekly shows every Friday. Hi Stephen, welcome to Manly Markets 2095.
Good on you. Yeah, pleased to be here.
Yep, you're actually my insurer and someone who we recommend a lot to a lot of store holders. Probably the biggest market insurer in Australia.
That's right. We've been operating since about 2015. We have hundreds of markets on the books, and we have thousands of stall holders that we look after Australia-wide.
Right, that's fantastic. Now, I want to just start straight off the bat and tell everyone I don't get any commission from you guys. That's correct?
That's correct.
Yeah, no, I just like what you do, and actually there is a connection there. Your wife Wendy, or your partner Wendy?
That's right. Yep.
Was her younger brother was a school friend of mine many years ago. So still friends today. So there is a bit of a connection there. How we started, but we've been doing business together, I guess, for about 4 years now, and things have been going well. So yeah, tell us a bit about yourself. Who is My Market Insurance? And I think you told us how long you've been going.
Yeah. Well, I've been looking after markets and stall holders for probably close to 30 years in a previous employment, but now that 7 or 8 years ago when I started my own business, I decided to set up this facility and negotiated with AIG Insurance, who are one of the largest insurers in the world, and they gave me the authority to set up the online business for the stall holders.
Right.
Also to give us the authority to handle on their behalf the various markets around Australia.
Right.
So
okay.
It's public liability only. So it's very specialised. It's very easy online for the stall holders. Policies from $40 up to $200. So,
right. Yeah. Okay. I guess that leads us into it now. Who needs insurance in the markets?
Well, the market operator needs them, like yourself, and then depending upon their policy, they will require most stallholders to have their own insurance. So some markets rely totally on getting confirmation from the stallholder, their certificates of currency from insurers.
Yes.
And some markets have the option of including some stallholders cover in their policy.
Yeah, I guess part of my question was, and you've answered it, I'm happy with the answer there, but also I guess the pitfalls and the danger of not having insurance.
Yeah, well, you as a market operator have to have insurance because you're on somebody else's land and it's a council's requirement or whoever.
Right.
And then you're passing that responsibility onto your stallholders to have their own coverage for anything silly they may do in the operation of their business. For the stallholder, their policy is totally transportable, so they can go to your market one day, they can go down to Bondi the next, or they could be in Perth on a holiday, go to a market. So it's anywhere in Australia from our point.
Anywhere in Australia, yeah. Okay, great. A question I always get a lot of times is, how much do I need? 5 million, 10 million, 20 million? How do you answer that?
Well, normally it's what you require as the market operator. You will pass, if you're asked for $20 million from your local council, you'll probably ask your stallholders to take 20 million also. There's not a great deal of cost. You go for a stallholder, you go from $149 up to $200 from a $10 million policy to a $20 million.
Right. Is that for a year?
It's for a year.
Right.
So
okay.
If somebody's going to a number of markets, they're going to have to take a $20 million coverage because I would say now 70% of markets require $20 million as a standard. Right. There's still some floating around with 10 million. And if you're just going to one market and they only require 10 million, well, the $149 policy is still going to be okay for you.
Right. And as security for a stallholder, say they only want to get 10 million, is that a good coverage in today's society?
Yeah, well, 10 million's probably adequate to meet most disaster type claims. It's hard to imagine a scenario where a claim could be of such huge magnitude, but crazy things do happen.
Just good security, I guess. Yeah. Okay. One question that came up once when we were renewing my policy, and I get asked this a lot, and it happens a lot, I think, out there. Can a market, like a market manager like myself, or a market charge extra, say $10 or $20 per day, and cover stallholders under the market insurance?
You cannot specifically charge for insurance.
Right.
If you do that, you're seen to be selling insurance, which you don't have a license to do.
That's right.
Okay? So technically, ASIC could come down on you.
Right. Yeah, you might leave yourself open, hey?
So what you would, as an operator, you can include insurance in your overall costs that you pass on to a stallholder, but you cannot say you have to pay $10 a day for insurance.
Right. Okay.
By that amount. So unfortunately, many market operators are still doing that, but they're opening themselves up to, investigation at least by ASIC.
Right. So what could happen maybe is a claim's made against the stallholder, and he comes to the market manager and says, "Oh, I paid extra for insurance." The insurance company finds out, they may knock that claim back on those grounds.
No, it's really going to be a conflict between ASIC and the market operator, as to whether they get a fine for what they've done or just a warning.
Right.
it's not going to affect the actual currency of the policy.
Okay. Oh, well, that's good to know. Have you got some examples of incidents that were covered by insurance? Just
Yeah, sure. We've
so
had plenty
people know.
of claims over the year. The vast majority would be silly things like stall holders failing to secure their umbrella, and a gust of wind comes through.
Right.
The umbrella flies off into a Lamborghini parked in the car park. $20,000 later.
Yeah.
There's been
We
plenty
get
of
Lamborghinis in Manly.
just Porsches, I think.
Yeah.
So fortunately, we've never had an incident where one of the umbrellas has flown off and hit somebody in the head or the eye and blinded them.
Right. That's good.
That's when it could turn into a $100,000, $200,000, $300,000 claim.
Yes.
But the largest claims we've probably had relate to slip and trips, like at similar to a Bunnings sausage sizzle scenario where somebody's walked past the barbecue and there's been some oil dripping on the floor.
Mm-hmm.
Someone's gone for a big slide on the floor, injured their back, twisted their ankle. We've had a couple of those, and one of them was $100,000. $50,000 was paid by our policy, and $50,000 was paid by the person who owned the premise.
Right. Okay.
So the stall holder was protected for their share of that claim.
Okay. Any incidents that were claimed but not paid out by the insurer that you can remember?
Well, the only times we've had any difficulty is people don't understand that it's a public liability policy only, publican products. So we're also covering the sales of their goods.
Yes.
So if somebody gets poisoned or has an allergy not disclosed from some food they've eaten, then that sort of scenario is covered. But we've had plenty of people ring up and say, "Oh, somebody stole a little antique off my table. Can you help me out?" Or everything got drenched in the latest rainfall.
Yeah, there's been a lot of that.
Plenty of that at the moment, particularly in Melbourne at the moment, and those type of scenarios are theft or water damage, etc. Just not a public liability scenario.
Right. Okay. Yeah, that would be more a general business insurance, wouldn't it?
Yeah.
I guess. Yeah. Okay.
We have exclusions under the policy for certain products, such as toys or beauty products that stay on the skin. But they're fairly standard, but we've never had any difficulty because people have to tick off on the exclusions when they take out the policy online. Right.
Okay. Yeah. I think you're aware of my story. I was covered what I thought under a Manly Business Chamber insurance policy. I was working for them, and there was a claim by a lady who fell over a tree. You'd think council would cover that, but because I run the markets, then I'm responsible for the whole area. And we ended up not quite in court, but we settled out of court. The lady got some money. I've just lost you. You still there?
No, it's all right. I've just got to get rid of a call that's come through.
Oh, right. Okay. The only unfortunate thing with the claim was my name wasn't specifically on the policy. I thought I was working for the Chamber of Commerce, and there was a lot of legal argy-bargy in the end. The insurer for the Chamber couldn't prove I wasn't an employee, but I still had to pay something. So what I'm alerting everyone to is make sure your name is on the policy, and you can put as many names as you like, can't you? Or
that's right. So
yeah, so make sure you've got everyone covered. Your daughter, everyone that might be working on the stall, huh?
We don't need an ABN as such, but yes, put everyone's name that's involved. And if you need, many of the markets require the local council to be noted, or whoever's running the show to be noted, and we can always add those people as an interested party to the policy.
Right. Okay. Yeah, it's just peace of mind, isn't it?
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah, would have made my life easier for sure. Are you able to get up on the screen and show people how to?
That's beyond my capabilities.
Is it? Okay, all right, no worries. What's yeah, people go to My Market Insurance. You've got an easy self-service, buy your own policy on there, haven't you?
That's right. So on the home page, there are 4 white buttons. They click on any of those to go through to the stallholder payment area, and it probably takes 2.5, 3 minutes to tick off all the boxes and insert your credit card details, and your policy and payment confirmation is emailed to you as soon as the transaction's over.
Yeah, perfect.
So it's pretty simple. You've got something on the insurer's letterhead, and you're able to send that off to your various markets that you're involved with.
Yeah, great. Yeah, I have checked it out. It's very easy, and I know a lot of people that I recommend do take up the offer to use your company, which is great, and they all seem to do it easily. And I know some people who like to do one market and they tend to buy a 1-day policy.
Yeah.
You guys are very good. Say that weekend gets rained out, you'll actually just change the date for them and
that's
move
right.
it. Yeah, which I found, which is really good. Okay, is there anything else we should know from an insurance broker about insurance?
I don't think so. We so anyone who's taking a policy can, if they want something on the day, even if it's a Saturday or a Sunday, they just go online. The system's 24 hours. So we can accommodate people during non-business hours, in effect. So
yeah.
But apart from that, if anyone's got any queries, Wendy and myself are always around and happy to assist.
Great, awesome. Well, thanks very much for your time today, Stephen. That's I'm sure a lot of people are very happy with the answers and more information on insurance, which is very important these days.
Boring but important, and yes.
Okay, thanks. All the best.
Thanks, Mark. Bye-bye.
Thank you. Bye.